What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios, and in today's video we're going to be talking about sales data and money. And spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. And let me just say, before you have to watch any further, I'm going to go ahead and give you the figure now, and the money I made after 1 week of my indie game Maze launching on Steam is $127. And that is the total net that I made from the game after 1 week. So if you don't know, these how much money I made from my indie game videos are kind of popular. I've seen a lot of other devs post their videos, and there's a lot of good content on YouTube out there. I've watched a bunch of them myself, but a lot of the times they're like really successful developers, and I've seen a few that show some more realistic sales for maybe first-time indies. And we're going to dive deep into these sales figures and talk about, where they're coming from and what I think about the Steam platform. So let's get started. Before we get started, I want to introduce myself. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eli. I run an indie game development studio called TreeFall Studios. On this channel, I make videos about my games, showcasing their progress through devlogs, and I also make videos helping you get started in game development. If that sounds interesting to you, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload. For those of you who do not know, Maze is not an original game developed for the PC. It's actually a port. I released the game originally in 2015 on the Wii U. It's a first-person puzzle adventure game. It has a very retro vibe to it, and you play as a character that is stuck in these 3D mazes, and you have to find your way to the finish, from the start to the finish, like traditional mazes. But on the way to do that, you've got to collect coins, solve puzzles, and do a little bit of platforming. So Maze originally launched on the Wii U to some pretty decent sales numbers. Personally, my experience with the Wii U sales is they were pretty good compared to modern day sales on normal consoles for indie games. Now that you know a little bit about the game's history, I will say that it first launched on the Wii U, and then had a remastered version that launched on the PlayStation 4, and now that remastered version from the PlayStation 4 has now launched on Steam. And I can go ahead and tell you without a doubt that Steam is the worst platform that I ever released a game on for sales organically. And I know some people are going to come wagging their finger and shaking their head at me, saying that it's my fault that I didn't market my game better for Steam. But what I will say is that I basically did the exact same amount of marketing for each release, the Wii U, Steam, and the PS4. Very minimal. I don't have a whole lot of money, so there's no real money spent on ad campaigns. There's no real money going to people to play the game, to get it out in the hands of people. I basically just sent out, keys to people who would actually respond to me and play the game, and people who would make videos about the game. So it's a very minimal marketing effort on the side of influencers, and I'm basically just using my own audience to promote the game to via my Twitter, my Facebook, and my YouTube accounts. So when you compare all three platforms, Steam performed close to 100 times worse than my other two platforms combined in terms of sales figures. I think there's a few reasons for this. Steam basically, in order to get organic sales from people that you don't know who ran across your Steam page in the store, you need to get on the new and trending page. Because if you're a new game, which there's like close to probably 20 to 50 new games that launch every single day on Steam, so you get covered up really quickly. So the only way to keep getting visible eyes for multiple days in a row is to get on the new and trending page. When you're just a new release and no one's heard of you, you have to go down past the new and trending to all new releases, to click on show all, and then open up another little bubble to scroll through the list of the 50 new games that launch every single day just to be seen. This has terrible visibility issues for someone who's new. So there's a couple ways that you can become new and trending, and I've seen this from recent devs on YouTube posting their success stories. Basically, if you have a large audience already, and you get a bunch of wish lists, and you get a bunch of people who purchase your game right in the very beginning, you'll get on the new and trending, and you'll get to stay there. And if you don't have a giant audience, the only other way to make it is to just have some viral moment where when you share off your clip of your game on Twitter, Reddit, wherever it may be, it just blows up and goes viral, and then you get a bunch of Steam sales from that, and then that can put you on the new and trending page and put you on a trajectory to victory with Steam. To put it in context, my audience is not super small, but it's not very large in comparison to a lot of the other indie developers out there. I have about 950 followers on Twitter, about 500 Facebook likes, and just over 400 subs on YouTube. So I hope that puts it in perspective for someone who's just starting out and trying to gain a following for the very first time, that it kind of shows you that you need a huge following to translate those into sales. Because when you share stuff with your audience, not everybody's gonna see it. Even if they're following you or sub to you on YouTube, not everybody sees every video or every post. And not everybody's gonna buy every single product that you release. There are a lot of devs that I see on YouTube that post their sales numbers and different things like that, but they might have 50, 100, 200, 300,000 subs or more. So that's a huge audience that they're able to promote their games to. So for me, I made the jump to Steam for a couple of different reasons. Even knowing these factors that you basically need a large audience for it to be really successful, I wanted to try it anyways because I have a huge portion of my audience on my Facebook and Twitter pages that were basically my fans for my original Wii U games. But now that I'm mostly making PlayStation games, they're not getting to play the new games, and I've had vocal support on the internet for me to put my games on more platforms. I'm also trying to grow my business as large as I can with as many revenue streams as possible. That way I can keep my business sustainable for the future. And this is a perfect example for the Steam platform. I did minimal marketing effort. It's basically a dry run test just to put a game out there and see what happens and see if people resonate with it on the platform and see what kind of fan reception I've already got. As I've had a vocal fan base wanting my games on the computer, I thought that that might translate into some decent sales, but it turns out just because people are wanting for you to do something on your social media pages doesn't mean that it's going to be a good business decision for your company. So let's dive even deeper into these sales and show what I really made from it. So the overall number for 1 week for the game was $127. Just to put it into context, the game cost $9.99 and had a 15% launch discount, making it $8.49 for the launch week. One of those copies was a returned copy, so you're going to need to minus off a little bit of that, so I basically made it $120. And for everyone new to game development or new to Steam, they replaced their old system called Steam Greenlight with something called Steam Direct. So basically Steam Direct is the entire reason why there's so many games released every day, because it's really easy and accessible for anyone to release a game. All you have to do is pay a $100 fee per game in order to release on the platform. So when you actually look at my sales, I made $120 after you take out the return chargebacks. And then when you minus out the $100 fee that I had to pay in order to release the game on Steam, that means I only made about $20. And I'm also going to be taxed on that money. So in essence, I basically worked for free. And to put it in context, this port took me around a month for me setting up the Steam page, porting everything over, coding in the mouse controls, doing all the PC settings, all of that kind of thing. So this just goes to show that you can work really hard on something and it might not pan out the way that you thought. And that's absolutely okay because it was definitely a learning experience. I'm not complaining that the sales numbers are really low. It actually showed me what it takes to make it on Steam, how you need to go about it if you choose to pursue that avenue, and kind of show me if it's really worth it at all for my audience. And really, at the end of the day, that's all you can really do. You can learn, take that experience, and move in the right direction by keeping a positive attitude, or you can take that negative experience and give up and quit and fail. So I'm gonna try to release a few more games on Steam, change up my method and just see how things go. But I will give a warning to game developers who are just starting out, thinking that I can make a really quick and easy game, put it on Steam and be rich like all these people that you see on the internet. That is 100% not true. It is becoming increasingly difficult every single year as competition grows, as the market grows, as platforms change. It becomes more difficult every year to make it as an indie developer based on sales numbers alone. That's why you see so many indie developers that have diversified their income through Patreon, through sales on their different platforms, releasing different games, through Kickstarter, and through things like making courses or running a YouTube channel teaching people how to do game development. And I can go ahead and tell you there is some good news to this, that it isn't impossible in indie game development in order to make money through sales numbers, because as I've seen on other platforms like the PlayStation and the Wii U, and I'm also trying to dive into new platforms this coming year, as I'm also going to reach out and start my journey with Xbox, and I'm going to continue trying to get onto the Nintendo Switch. But I can already tell you that the organic traffic on consoles relates to a much greater sales conversion than the market does on the PC. If you found any of the information in this video valuable, please be sure to smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. I've also noticed a whole lot of channel growth recently, so if you're new to this channel and enjoyed this video at all, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join us on the journey. Before I end today's video, I need to give a personal shout out to all of the patrons who support TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I could not be making these videos without you. Got to give a special shout out to Zach Ware, LV, PLP, Carmen Red, and Overhyped Gamer. Thank you guys for what you do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. If you're interested in checking out the Patreon page, you can check out the links in the description below. Without further ado guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.